Why old man for literally sprinting away from Pinocchio on a live stream. We need to take a deep breath because Drake stands, oh honey, they're about to be absolutely unbearable today. Like peak delusion levels. So do me a quick favor. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And grab some popcorn because we're about to dive into the wildest mess the internet has coughed up this week. Yes, we're talking about episode 2 of Drake's increasingly bizarre Iceman saga. A rollout nobody asked for, yet somehow we're all glued to it like it's premium HBO drama. And honestly, I don't even know how Aubrey pulled this one off. Somehow, he managed to take an already cringeworthy live stream and dial the weirdness up to 100. We're talking awkward comedy skits, random dices that didn't land, symbolism that left us confused, and moments so uncomfortable you could physically feel the secondhand embarrassment through the screen. The only thing that actually improved, the comedy value, because watching one of the most recognizable faces in music turn into a walking meme, that's reality TV gold right there. Let's not lie to ourselves. Drake has been spiraling, and not just a casual slip. We're talking public unraveling. The Kendrick Lamar beef cracked his shiny image wide open. And the music, yeah, that hasn't exactly helped him bounce back. So, what did Team OVO decide was a grand solution? What genius chess move did they bring to the table to shift the narrative? Apparently, get chased by Pinocchio. Let that sink in for a second. Drake. Yes, the Drake has somehow found himself starring in his own low-budget fairy tale, running for dear life from a puppet with a growing nose on live stream, like at a TikTok theater final project gone wrong. But wait, it gets deeper because this wasn't just some goofy skit. Oh no, according to the fan theories and the self-proclaimed Drake scholars, Pinocchio is actually meant to represent Kendrick Lamar. Yep, the puppet symbolizes the idea that Kendrick has been lying on Drake's name. So, every time Pinocchio's nose grows, it's supposed to signal another lie in Kendrick's diss tracks. But here's where things go off the rails. And I mean off the rails, like a Netflix train wreck you can't stop watching. If you actually know the original Pinocchio story, and not just a Disney version, then you'll know it's not just about a puppet who tells fibs. It's about abduction, exploitation, and straight-up trauma. The real lore involved a creepy old man luring children away and locking them up. That's not a reach. That's literally the original narrative. So, for Drake to use that character, intentionally or not, in the middle of a beef that's already got people side-eyeing him for questionable behavior, either he didn't do his research or he made one of the most disturbing and tone-deaf artistic decisions in recent memory, and not in a thought-provoking way, in a how-did-no-one-in-the-room stop this kind of way. Meanwhile, as Drake's fans analyze every frame of this fevered dream, like it's some next-level performance art, they're missing the obvious. This isn't clever. This isn't masterful trolling. This is the last-ditch effort of an icon losing his grip on the cultural throne. And here's the real kicker. Kendrick Lamar is out here making history. Pulitzer Prizes, layered concept albums, social commentary, complex characters, generational impact. Kendrick is not just making music. He's making statements that echo through time. And Drake, he's out here throwing costume parties. While Kendrick tackles generational trauma, politics, and identity, and does it with razor-sharp clarity, Drake is running from a puppet in slow motion like he's trapped in an off-Broadway disaster. It's not just a downgrade. It's a total artistic collapse. And while his fans are clinging to this bizarre rollout like it's creative gold, the sad truth is they've been starved for quality that even this chaotic mess feels like a feast. They're cheering like it's genius. But deep down, everyone can sense it. Something is off. But here's where it really gets embarrassing. Drake is not just calling Kendrick a liar. He's back to short jokes. Yeah, all of this lyrical back and forth, all of this cultural tension. And now we come full circle to height jokes. Is this what the Iceman rollout has come to? And look, I could let go if this was a one-off meme, but the video itself, the full-on production value, the dramatic camera work, the slow motion edits shows they were dead serious. This wasn't satire. This was the actual strategy. This is how Drake decided to respond to Kendrick Lamar at the height of their rivalry, with a puppet chase scene. And here's the brutal irony. In trying to paint Kendrick the liar, the manipulator, the villain, Drake turned himself into the punchline. Because no matter how far or how fast he runs on that live stream, the metaphorical lies, the weight of everything he's trying to escape, they're still chasing him. The image of Drake, a grown man, a cultural heavyweight, being stalked by a puppet with a growing nose. It's poetic, but not in the powerful, groundbreaking way he likely intended. It's poetic in the way a tragedy becomes satire. It's like watching a king try to win back the people's love by juggling rubber chickens. It's laughable, it's desperate, and somehow it's also kind of brilliant, but only in how completely off the rails it is. And look, we'll get to the music, the snippets, Drake's obsession with always appearing unbothered, even when he's clearly unraveling, ended up making him look more bothered, more insecure, and honestly more exposed. That energy, it's dripping all over Iceman Episode 2. It's like watching a man drowning in his own reflection. So deep in his image, his ego, and his curated brand, he can't even see the cracks for him beneath his feet. Now, don't get me wrong, Drake thought he was doing something here. He really believed that these subliminal Kendrick Lamar dices were going to land like bombs, that he was crafting some next-level manifesto of lyrical vengeance. But in reality, this might be one of the most cringe-worthy moments in his entire career. And trust me, that bar is low. We've seen Drake make questionable decisions before, moments that made even his most loyal fan side eye their playlists. But this isn't just questionable. This is downright baffling. Like, how did this idea pass through multiple people, production meetings, and budget approvals without a single soul standing up to say, maybe we should sit this one out? And no, the live stream just kept on giving. Beyond the infamous Pinocchio chase, beyond the puppet fiasco, Drake tried emphasis on try to sprinkle in some aesthetic to make it all look intentional. You know the type. Dramatic shadows, over-the-top cinematic transitions, random fog machines, and color palettes straight out of Tumblr Circuit 2013. It was moody. It was artsy. It was empty. All vibe, no vision. But when you strip away all that smoke and mirror work, the stream boiled down to just two major moments. Drake previewed a new solo track, and then, drumroll, he introduced his very first featured artist of the so-called Iceman era. Enter Central C. Now look, respect where it's due. Central C actually came through in the middle of this chaos. His solo snippet was low-key a gem. Crisp bars, clean energy. For a second, it felt like real rap had somehow snuck its way into this theatrical circus. It had that gritty, almost Illmatic adjacent flavor that made you sit up and go, okay, maybe this won't be a total train wreck. But then it happened. The collaboration dropped. The Drake Central C track titled, which one hit streaming services immediately after the live stream ended. And y'all, I wish I were exaggerating when I say this, but it fell flat, like face plant on the pavement kind of flat. Somehow, Drake has managed to release what might genuinely be one of the worst singles in his discography. And that's a long discography. This isn't just me, Drake. This is bottom tier phoned in fake accent. Who let this happen level Drake? Yes, he brought back the UK drill accent in 2025 unironically. Let's be brutally honest here. Drake doing a fake UK accent in this era isn't clever. It's not cool. It's not edgy. It's cosplay pure and simple. Paired with throwaway lyrics, sleepy energy, and absolutely zero chemistry with Central C, the track felt like a leftover from a bad studio session, not a highlight moment from a superstar's big comeback. And what's worse, it wasn't even fun bad. Like, at least some of his diss tracks gave us mean gold lines to laugh at, something to sink our teeth into. But this was just dull, lifeless vocals, a background beat so uninspired that it sounded like it was made on a phone app. No build-up, no climax, just flatline. And here's where it stings the most. Drake is still out here chasing Michael Jackson-level stats. He's trying to climb the charts, break records, outdo legends, and this is what he brings to the table. A mid-collab with no spark and fake slang. It's kind of shocking because instead of going bold, instead of going deep, instead of doing something with emotional weight or conceptual power, Drake dropped a song that feels like it was made by a marketing team, not an artist. No soul, no hunger, just formulas and focus groups. It's given Morgan Wallen spreadsheet core. It's not an album, it's a playlist. And let's be honest, if the song doesn't chart well, and judging by early reactions, it won't, Drake's just going to pretend it never existed. Delete it from the final album. Clean it off the timeline, because that's what this whole rollout is turning into. Not a creative arc, but a glorified test market. Throw it out there, see what sticks. Delete the rest. This isn't hip-hop. It's branding in a panic room. And now, with this sleepy collab dragging the whole Iceman momentum into the mud, the album's starting to look less like Iceman and more like Midman the Musical. What's truly tragic is that his fan base is still locked in like it's a full-blown cult. They're online defending every misfire, every awkward skit, every puppet scene like it's high art, like Drake's playing 8 chess and the rest of us just don't get it. But the truth is, they're not defending him. They're enabling his slow, painful fall from greatness. And that fall, it's accelerating. Drake is clearly still haunted by Kendrick. Every move he makes, every lyric, every outfit choice seems like a reaction to something Kendrick did months ago. Meanwhile, Kendrick, he's chilling. He's not tweeting. He's not mocking. He's not pandering with fake dialects. He's just making art. When Kendrick went to UK, he didn't throw on a British accent like it was a costume. He performed. He connected. He resonated with the audience. Meanwhile, Drake's playing hide-and-seek with wooden dolls on livestream. For what? To convince us that Kendrick is a liar, that his bars are fairy tales, that Drake's the misunderstood victim in all of this. It's not given lyrical warfare. It's given full-blown desperation. So, now I gotta ask you, the real ones, the heads who know the difference between clout chasing and artistry, what do you make of this Iceman Episode 2 rollout? Am I missing something? Is there a deeper message hidden behind the puppets and poor accents? Or are we all just witnessing one of the most bizarre, creatively bankrupt moments in modern hip-hop? And that new track, which one? Are you feeling it? Or does it sound like another skip button anthem? Because from where I'm sitting, this ain't it. Let me know what you're listening to this week, because we desperately need a palate cleanser after that sonic mess. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you do not want to miss the next episode in this strange, unraveling saga. Whatever's coming next, it's about to get even weirder.